Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Absurd Arguments, a comedy podcast where we talk about things in an argumentative fashion. My name is Matthew, and I'm here with my good friend Christmas boy Nathan. How you doing, man?
Yo, 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 it's me, Christmas boy Nathan. I'm always hip and cool and hip, especially around Christmas time. My favorite.
Hey, it's good. It's good.
Look, let's not dance around and pretend that nothing's happened. Look, folks, it's been a while since we've done an episode, and it's because your boy Matthew is a world traveler, and he was off in the great land of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, I was traveling.
Would you like to share any fun things from your trip?
I myself didn't do a ton because I went with a group and we were doing some mission work, and the assistant that was on the trip got sick on day 3 and had to go home. And so I became the assistant, and I rarely went out and did stuff because I was coordinating everyone else on the trip. So, but it was still good. You know what's crazy though? We were, so as we're walking around the city we were in, there were these different posters that we kept seeing, and they were blue and pink. And I was like, oh, what are these posters? And someone pulled out their phone and used Google Translate and discovered that these were propaganda posters for the Japanese Communist Party. And I was like, whoa, commies.
So while Matthew was over there, he came back with some radical new ideas that he would love to share with our listeners.
Yeah, you need to vote against something. I don't remember what it was, but you need to vote for something else. It was like some article thing that people were looking at revising.
Right. Matthew comes back and he's like, Don't worry, dear leader. I have the perfect platform to share the propaganda for communism.
Right.
in my comedy podcast.
In college, for one of my classes, I had to read literature from different time periods, and I have read the Communist Manifesto.
Oh.
Yes.
Did you
There's a reason
it?
I'm the resident capitalist on this podcast after reading the Communist Manifesto.
Oh, geez. Well, that's good. That's very heartening for our listeners to hear.
Yes.
Well, Matthew, as you know, it's Christmas time, and so it's the season for, of course, watching wonderful Christmas movies. Okay,
Indeed.
And so our episode's going to be about that today. Matthew and I both, we watched a really awful. He watched one awful Christmas movie, and I watched another awful one. And so we're going to discuss those and find out which of those is the worst, I guess. But before we do that, I'd like to bring back my favorite segment of Which is the Worst. And some of your favorite classic Christmas films have some pretty bad things that happen in them. And so, Matthew, I'm gonna ask you. We'll do 5 of these. Which is the worst, and you tell me which one you think is worse, and then if you can tell me what movie it's from, that's even better. So
okay,
bonus points, I guess. All right. All right. So here's your first one. Okay.
All right.
Which is worse, your long lost son that you never told your wife about shows up on your doorstep a few days before Christmas and wants to spend Christmas with you and your family? Okay, that's pretty bad. Or You wake up and a loved one has made you breakfast, but it's spaghetti with syrup and candy all mixed into it. Which is worse?
Ooh. I would have to say my long lost son shows up, because that would be the wildest thing, considering I am not in any sort of relationship, and all of a sudden this guy just shows up. He's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm your son."
Oh, it's like, I can deal with that.
Yeah. It's like, Mary and Joseph, except there is no Mary. It's just Joseph.
um, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's, you'd have to pretend for that one. So for me, definitely it's easier saying the spaghetti with syrup and candy is worse to me,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
that would be more likely to happen.
Right.
And that terrifies me. Don't ruin spaghetti like that. All right. Good job. And what movie?
That's
Do
Elf.
you
You
definitely.
gotta. Yeah, no, I have
Okay.
seen that movie too many times.
Definitely. That was too easy. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so which is worse, Matthew? Uh, you open your Christmas presents, okay? One
Mm.
of the gifts you get is a giant pink bunny rabbit onesie that your aunt
Uh-huh.
made from you.
Hmm.
Okay, that's one of your gifts. Which is worse, getting that gift, or you get a gift that you have really wanted so badly, but as soon as you get it, you harm yourself badly with it. like like you get a stapler or something, and immediately
Uh-huh.
you've stapled yourself somehow.
Mm. Uh the second one would be worse. Because I do have a bit of experience in that. We got
Aw.
we got a gaming chair. It just like sat on the ground, and you could like fold it all the way over, and then it would just like lay flat
Yeah.
after like you release a latch and push it under like the couch or something to store it when you aren't using it. And we got it, and I was figuring out how to like move it. uh like I don't want to like lounge all the way out, but I also don't want to sit straight up like a chair. And so I was trying to
Hmm.
figure that out, and I got my finger caught in the latch, and it pinched me so bad that it broke the skin and drew blood.
Oh my gosh, you really did pull a Ralphie.
I
That's pretty
did.
rough.
Yeah, well, the movie's
And
Christmas Story, anyways.
of
But yeah,
course, that's
yep.
and that's my favorite Christmas movie. I love that one. No movie to me captures the feeling of being a kid and wanting a certain Christmas present so badly. You know, I
And then
love that one.
shooting your eye out.
It's so perfect. Okay, here's one. Which is worse, living like a monk, secluded on a mountaintop, peace, quiet, tranquility, but for 1 month of the year, every night you can hear the city people below your mountain partying about Christmas? Or having all of your Christmas decorations, Christmas presents, and Christmas baked goods stolen the day before
Mm,
Christmas? Which
man.
is worse?
Again, the latter is worse, because the first one happens on a weekly occurrence for me. I
Right.
live I live near a lot of Hispanic homes, and
Yeah.
at least once a week there will be some sort of party going on, and they will be blaring like mariachi music and other things, and I'm just like, please, I want to go to sleep. Stop,
Right.
stop your enjoyment.
Bro, I think that would be so much worse. I just
No,
want peace and quiet.
but the
Please.
problem is you spend all this money setting up Christmas, and
Yeah.
you buy all these things, even if it's not a lot. You This Christmas gifts are still pretty expensive. I mean, I
Stop
just
trying. Stop trying to make me empathetic to the poor folks who have had their Christmas ruined.
Oh, hold on. So,
Like,
all right, all right, all right. We're
like,
gonna get we're gonna get a little dark here for a moment. So the second one has also happened to me.
Oh gosh, Matthew, come on!
All right,
Don't be in this position.
So it's not a laughing matter.
Oh, he says as he introduces it with laughter.
Yes. So when we were kids, we didn't have a ton of money growing up, and then there was one day, really close to Christmas, me and my siblings were playing outside, and we heard a car accident from a couple roads down. It was really loud. And it happened to be a car accident that my mom got in. She was okay and everything. It's just that she was rear-ended and in the trunk had all of our Christmas presents, and they were all destroyed.
I swear, Matthew, I wish I had known this before I just gallantly took the Grinch's side in this, which is the worst.
That's why it's so funny to me. Because you're just
swear.
you're making me feel bad for poor people. And I was like, no, you don't understand. My mom was okay, but she felt horrible.
Of course.
She was so distraught. She was able to salvage a few gifts.
Right, but it's better that she was okay, ultimately.
Right.
But golly,
right.
Dude, you've literally, this is foreshadowing for everybody about the movie I'm going to talk about, but you turned me into the heroine of that film for a split second. You're the worst. Which is the worst between us two hosts? It's Matthew, y'all. It's Matthew. Yeah, that's the Grinch.
I'm sorry, Mom, for laughing at your car accident, even though that was a long time ago.
Yeah, if you can't laugh about a car accident now, when can you laugh? He's psychopath. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
I've got two more. All right.
All right.
Now this one is kind of like just two different vibes from two different films, but which was worse? Only being able to exist during December and January before melting away, or only being able to do your job if kids and adults believe you exist. You can only work if children and adults believe Matthew is a real person.
Oh man, well, we have a podcast now, so people can now believe in me. So I'm gonna say the first one is the worst, because now people believe in me because I'm a voice over the internet. No, ultimately that would be pretty bad if people forgot about me and then I just disappeared from the face of the earth.
Either that, or just they forget about you and your boss comes up to you and he's like, hey, I'm sorry, man. You really aren't going to be able to get paid this month. Nobody's believing in you.
See, but that wouldn't be the case, though, because Santa is his own boss because he's self-employed.
Yeah. He's a small business owner or big business. I don't know. But yeah,
what kind of business does he run? Is it a small business or is it a corporation? Because as far as I know, the entire world almost knows about Santa Claus.
I like to think of him as like a criminal syndicate, like a reverse Robin Hood. But mostly kids only care about it now.
True.
But yeah. Okay, my final one. Okay, which is the worst, Matthew? Okay, living in a small community where you're
Mhm.
constantly bullied and left out for having a physical deformity. So in your case, it would probably be being a ginger. No offense. Or you have to live on an island, but the only other people who live there are those who also have physical deformities.
You laugh first. That's what got me. Is you you broke character for a
I don't know what you're talking about.
moment. Having wow. So does this imply in both instances I have some sort of physical disability?
I would prefer to say deformity, but
Deformity. Okay.
yeah.
Um
I mean, the easy way to go here would be a red nose, but I don't know. Like, it's really grossly red. Like,
I think
you
it
got
would be
burned.
worse. I think it would be worse if I was constantly bullied for my physical deformity.
Mhm.
Because if I was just around a bunch of other people with physical deformities, such as like a island of misfit toys, for instance,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
yeah, like everyone else is deformed in some way, so it's normal to be not normal, I guess.
Yeah, and
Um,
every time you get a new visitor to the island, you have to sing a song about how y'all are deformed.
Never mind, that is the worst. You get to
Uh,
celebrate. I am not what I want to be. I am a big disgrace to my family.
I'm an absolute freak. Banished to an island with only a lonely creek that runs
Oh
through it.
gosh,
Oh,
man.
yeah, man.
Never mind. That sucks. If I have to sing about how I'm like disowned by my family every time someone shows up, like that would suck. I would. It would be like that tribe that has like zero reach with the
Con-
outside world, and every
right,
time
zero
someone did
contact.
show up, yeah, I would want to get rid of them just so I don't have to sing that stupid song.
Don't look at my deformity.
It's like
uh,
Nosferatu, but everybody.
right, exactly. Uh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is such a messed up movie. When you think about it.
It really is.
Gosh.
Dang it.
Well, that's that's it for this section of Which is the Worst.
Holy cow,
Thank
that
you.
was long.
Yeah, that was a lengthy one. It's
Anyways,
because
gosh.
after at least the first three or four, you kept going, I have a story about that. I was like,
I
oh gosh.
you
What
say
are the
all
odds?
these terrible circumstances like son, I had childhood trauma.
Um,
There's no better joke than to make about your own childhood trauma.
right, absolutely. Well, thank you for playing. You did great picking the worst
Thank
option.
you.
Now
Thank you.
we're going into, I guess, not even our argument per se, because we both suffered. We both suffered in our own way. Um,
Yes.
we both watched awful Christmas romantic movies, and not together, thank goodness. Um,
Mm-mm.
I watched one on my own. He watched another, and so I guess we'll go on and talk about it and share our favorite moments and give an idea of how awful these films are, and maybe we can come to a consensus of which was the worst.
I'll go first because um, I, I'm more interested to hear yours for the little that you've talked about it. Um, but I just want to do mine because I didn't take notes. Like I pulled up the Wikipedia article just so I can remember the plot. Um,
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
so what our format is going to be is we're going to tell each other the plot of the movie, and then we will talk about the wild points that we saw in it. Um,
Yeah, either
so
favorite scenes or interesting lines that we heard or whatever. So we'll go from there.
So I had the unfortunate pleasure, and those words are picked very specifically. Unfortunate because this movie is awful, and a pleasure because it was hilarious because of how bonkers wild it was. Um, and according to Wikipedia, this is the 2007 American crime comedy television film called Holiday in Handcuffs. Um, it is
Sound,
a ride. So
but
it
let's clarify.
yes, please.
Wait. Please, let's clarify. We are a family-friendly podcast. This is not a 50
It
Shades of
is.
Grey type of handcuffs Christmas movie, is it?
No, it is not. I mean, it originally
Oh,
aired
okay,
on the
okay.
ABC Family Network.
Okay, good. Just to clarify.
Yes, yes. So we start off with our main character, Trudy Chandler. She is an aspiring painter, but is currently working as a restaurant waitress. And she has connections through her father to a big city business job interview. And she is getting ready to go to this interview, but she has such terrible time getting ready for it. So what she does is she's trying to get all her stuff together. She ends up being late to the interview, and as she gets to the receptionist desk, she asks if the interview is still on, and she looks in the window and she sees Mr. Big Businessman himself in a different interview, saying that she no longer her time slot is no longer available, and so
Oh,
she goes to back to her waitress job, still in her full uh, business clothes, but it was a terrible pink dress her mother gave her, and she has to go work. And her Christmas plan is to take her boyfriend Nick to visit her family, which has rented a cabin about 3 hours outside of whatever city they're in. And
yeah.
Nick shows up to the restaurant that Trudy is working at and breaks up with her because he said that she was moving too fast and he doesn't see that they're going to be a good fit together. Um,
Oh,
and it just like absolutely tears her down. And she is trying to figure out what she's going to do because as soon as she gets off work, she's going to go to the cabin. And in walks Mario Lopez himself.
oh,
I
hallelujah, dude.
Yes. So you want to talk about like the hunk of the early 2000s? Mario Lopez was in so many different things. And so this was one of the reasons I wanted to watch the movie because I wanted to see if he's actually a good actor. Because all
Yeah.
I've ever seen him is like as like an MC or a studio broadcast presenter. So I wanted to see. I was like, does this guy actually act well? So he walks in and he sits down, gets a table, and he pulls out an engagement ring because he's about to propose to his girlfriend. And Trudy is having a nervous breakdown. And what she ends up doing is she grabs a gun that's on display in this restaurant because plot reasons. And like as Mario Lopez's character, I don't even care what his name is. I think it's David. But
Yeah.
I'll
We can
keep
call him Mario.
yeah. So Mario Lopez, full name. He goes to the bathroom and she holds him at gunpoint and says, "You're coming with me." And then he goes, "No, I'm not."
Good. Good for him.
Exactly. Oh, it's so good. So she ends up pretty much no, she kidnaps Mario Lopez, sticks him in the car, and they drive away to the cabin. And on the way, she stops at a gas station. She has him tied up with some wraps or whatever she has, and has gagged his mouth with his own necktie.
Oh.
And she gets to the gas station, and this is the Okay, I'll skip that because I'll come back to it because it's wild. Anyways, she picks up some handcuffs from this guy, from the gas station owner, and he's a reoccurring character, unfortunately. And what he does is he gives Trudy the handcuffs, and she takes off the wraps and gives him the handcuffs and puts them on him. And they now drive to the cabin, and they get to the family, and she lies about the job offer. And wait, does she? Oh, I don't remember. No,
Matthew,
never
it's
mind.
okay.
Yeah, no, never
We
mind.
don't
She
have
doesn't
to
lie.
like. Okay, thank
Anyways,
goodness she's at least an honest person.
well, but she
Kind
does
of.
lie about the fact that Mario Lopez is Nick, her boyfriend, and
Ah.
she goes in and tells her parents, by the way, my boyfriend Nick has this nervous tick where every time he's anxious or nervous, he starts saying something like, "Oh, I've been kidnapped," and her parents believe her. And
Yes.
so
Isn't
Mario Lopez.
wait? Isn't that just like a symptom of Tourette's, right? You know, instead of like
Something like that, yeah.
instead of cussing, you just go, "I've been kidnapped. I've been kidnapped." That's
Yeah,
great.
so Mario Lopez comes in and Trudy's like, "This is my boyfriend Nick," and he goes, "Please, you have to help me. Your daughter kidnapped me." And both the parents just start laughing at him.
Oh my god,
It's so great,
dude!
Oh,
Dude, this literally, like, you just change. If all you did is change the music and the lighting in the film, it could be a horror movie.
dude,
You
for
know,
real, for real.
like,
Anyways,
oh,
it's so good. Again, this is not a well made movie, but some of these like absolute bizarre moments just hit perfectly. So, anyways, later in the movie, Trudy's brother and sister show up, and he tries to go to them, and he's like, "No, you don't understand. I've been kidnapped." And they both didn't get the talk from Trudy of like, this is his way he deals with anxiety. They just go,
yeah.
"Sure, bud," and that's it.
Oh gosh! Oh no!
So
She
the siblings are more psychotic than Trudy.
like this is the most messed up family I've ever heard of. It sounds like the parents are just out of it and like, sure, darling, you know, well,
Mm,
we definitely understand if that's a nervous tick. And then her siblings are sociopaths who are just like, yeah,
mm.
that sounds like her. She would kidnap a dude. You
Yes.
know, they're
Yes.
fine with it.
Folks, keep in mind that Nathan said this is a messed up family. This will come into play later.
Okay.
And so they go through their antics, their holiday antics, and for whatever reason, this movie takes place over a course of 2 days. Would you like to know how many times they change their outfit?
How many?
Like they go
like,
through like 4 or 5 outfits.
like it, like every scene, a new outfit pretty much.
Almost. It's bizarre
Golly.
because I'm keeping track of like the different clothes that they're wearing, and I mean, most normal people wear like 1 or 2 outfits a day, depending on like work, and then you get home and you put on some more relaxing clothes.
Right.
Like these psychopaths, they put on like 5 outfits in like 2 days, and I'm like, for what? You're at a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Who are you trying to look good for?
They're trying to just one up each other in outfit
Yeah, for
changes.
real. Yeah, so this all happens over 2 days. And so what happens is Nick, excuse me, Mario Lopez, I almost said his fake name.
Ugh,
Mario
gross.
Lopez goes to Trudy and says, "Look, I am going to make your parents fall in love with me. So whenever the police show up, it's going to be detrimental to you." And
Oh,
so he does. He puts on all the charm and he just wins over her parents. And as the movie goes on, of course, this is a rom-com, so they slowly start to fall in love with each other. And um, it is just the most Stockholm syndrome thing I've ever seen since Beauty and the Beast. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty
Oh,
bad.
definitely.
Um,
Oh gosh.
it's pretty.
I
It's just
just
like, and again, Nathan. This is over 2 days, and he
oh gosh.
falls hard for her in
Now
2 days.
wait, he falls for her?
Yes,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
that's the bizarre
Okay.
part.
Now I could understand. I mean, we come on. Mario Lopez is quite the man. I would
Mm,
understand her falling in love with
just took it out
him
of context.
and what? He's just like I could understand her falling in love with him, her parents falling in love with him,
Hmm.
like he sounds kind of sociopathic in a way with being like, yeah, I'll make your family fall in love with me so then I can ruin your relationship with your parents when I call the cops. You know,
Yep,
like this really could be a good horror film, honestly.
it really could, except it's mixed in with Stockholm syndrome,
Oh,
like any good romantic comedy. So
again, another good horror film trope. Ugh.
yes.
Oh well.
So, anyways, lots of things happen, and eventually the cops do get called, um, and they
Wait, who
show up
calls them?
over the. We'll
Who
get
calls
we'll
the
get to
cops?
that. We'll get to that in the
Oh,
bizarre talk. So the cops get called. They pick up Mario Lopez, and this happens over Christmas dinner, and so everything is ruined. And then,
oh,
um, because Mario Lopez has fallen for Trudy, he decides not to press charges, and and the end of the movie goes. It's a happy ending. They end up together, of course, and la di da, everything
oh,
good.
thanks. Thank
Now,
goodness. Yes.
here is the wild stuff.
Okay.
Because what I said is not wild enough.
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
So when Trudy, at the beginning of the movie, goes to the gas station to get gas and picks up the handcuffs, you questioned earlier whether or not this would be a family friendly movie.
Uh huh.
Well, the handcuffs have nice little velvet coverings because the gas station owner thought
Oh.
that the two were into certain things, and this guy's like over his like
Oh
50s
no.
plus year old guy, so he is a huge creep, and he's just like,
No.
oh, so y'all are into that? And she goes, yes. And
Oh
he just gives her the
no.
handcuffs. He just gives it to her.
Oh my gosh. Well, he just gave it to her because he's like, look, from one creep to another. Here you go.
For real. But then later in the movie, Mario Lopez goes out with the dad to go get some clothes for him because he's only in his business suit. That's
Right.
the only outfit he has. So they go to this gas station to get gas to go get more clothes, and the gas station owner recognizes Mario Lopez from the car and starts asking him questions about how their night was.
Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh
And the
no.
whole time, Mario Lopez is like, "No, you don't understand. She kidnapped me." And he just goes, "Yeah."
He's like, you bet she did.
Oh, it was. I was out of everything. I was like, "This is number one,
Oh.
the most realistic, and also two, the worst possible thing."
Look, hey,
Ugh,
why do we have to make the gas station attendant creepy? Like
for real.
it's a dishonor to our hardworking gas station attendants. Shout out to all of y'all gas station attendants out there. We know you're not creeps like
Shout
that guy was.
out. So what happens is on this trip in the cabin, the mom takes up every single set of keys and every single cell phone so that they can all have a nice, lovely Christmas together without any distractions. So no one has a cell phone.
Gosh, I would die.
Exactly. Um, And so, how does Mario end up calling the cops? Well, he tries to get the cell phone from the place where Trudy, known as the Keeper of the Keys, has
Yeah.
hidden them, and he ends up finding out that Trudy is hiding her own cell phone. And so Mario Lopez tries to put the moves on her to get her cell phone, and she discovers what she's doing. So she takes out her phone, sets it on the kitchen counter, grabs a meat tenderizer, and breaks her phone right in front of
Oh,
him.
dude. Okay. Honestly, we could just take that scene, that clip, put it on TikTok, and then put some tagline like "When my girl asked to see the password on my phone,"
For
like
real.
that's literally just that trope,
Yep.
that trend online. This is perfect.
Yep. And so, how does Mario actually call the cops? Well, her brother, Trudy's brother, actually kept his cell phone. And we'll get to why he kept his cell phone a little later.
Oh,
Um,
I gotta know
he,
now.
no, I can't. So he has
No.
it. And so Mario Lopez ends up calling his girlfriend and telling her the whole thing. And this is within hours of them getting there, I guess, because again, this whole movie takes over 2 days, but you don't really get any kind of feel for that.
Right.
So he uses the phone to call his girlfriend, and his girlfriend ends up getting the police's attention. But they're all having a Christmas party at the police station, and no one takes the girlfriend's call seriously.
Oh my gosh.
They're all
So
having a Christmas
sad.
party. She shows up to the police and she says, "I'd like to report a kidnapping." And no one takes her seriously
I just
because she's ruining their Christmas party.
I mean, it is Christmas.
Oh,
Even the police have got a party sometime. All right.
yeah.
Like, what
Um,
if they just had, what if she calls and there's just a pre recorded thing that from, the 911 operator that says, "I'm so sorry. We're currently celebrating Christmas, our Christmas
mm-hmm,
party.
mm-hmm.
Please call back in 2 hours with your emergency and we'll get right to you." Like, that'd be
Yeah, dude.
perfect.
It was crazy. So the police show up at the Christmas dinner. And let me tell you about the Christmas dinner. Earlier in the movie, Trudy's brother pretty much comes out as gay to her.
Oh,
Yes, and because she asked him, "Hey, how's your girlfriend or whatever?" And he's like, "I haven't been with her in 6 months." And she goes, "Oh, that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that." He goes, "Yeah, but I've been seeing someone else, and he's really great." And she was like, "Oh, okay." Um,
no.
so
What a way to come
yes,
out right during Christmas time. Hooray.
right. And so what he does is he's been using the phone to be in contact with his boyfriend, I guess. And so that is going to be addressed at the kitchen table. And so as they sit down and everyone begins to get the food passed around, um, the brother says, "I have something to say." And then the sister goes, "Actually, no, I have something to say." And she goes, "Dad, I dropped out of law school because the dad is a lawyer." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "The money that you've been sending me for tuition payments, I've actually been used to set up a Pilates gym, and I've been running Pilates for the past 6 months." And the dad is just like, he's like heartbroken, disappointed, everything. And so the family gets into a little bit of a spit there. And then the mom speaks up and goes, "You know what? This is actually a good thing." And the dad goes, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, you've been trying to make all of our kids just little U's." And then she starts talking about
Oh,
how she's very uncomfortable in their marriage.
no.
And then so the mom and the dad start getting in a spat. And then the brother says, "Actually, I have something else to say."
No.
And then he's like, I'm actually gay. And then everyone is just like, whoa, whoa. And then, but the mom was like, yeah, I already knew that.
Oh my gosh. Why? Why all at this dinner? No, just no.
Yeah.
The
And
truth does
then,
not all have to come out at once. Not at
yep.
the singular Christmas dinner. Oh,
And the best part is they're also at the house is their grandmother. And the grandmother says, could this get any worse? And then the police bust in the front door and get everybody out. It was the best thing in this entire movie because it just
okay.
gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh my gosh.
And dude, right now I'm just having fun imagining a character from a better Christmas movie, Bruce Willis, John McClane from Die Hard, just busting through the window and being like, get on the ground, like,
Yes.
I know that didn't happen, but I want to
Yep.
believe.
No. But by this point, whenever Trudy's family is arrested, so funny. Gosh, he drops the charges, and
Yeah.
as I said at the beginning, Trudy is an aspiring painter, and she sets up a art gallery to show off all her paintings, and she's hoping that Mario Lopez would show up, and he doesn't. But there's a
Aw.
painting from her display that gets sold,
Oh.
and as she's leaving, Mario Lopez approaches her and says, "Hey, can you come with me for a moment?" And they go to this like abandoned building or something where there are like hundreds of candles everywhere. And I'm like, homie, this is a fire hazard.
You got to think like a romantic here, Matthew. Just what a wonderful, act that he did. You can't think of the fact that he's probably going to burn it down with all
For
those
real.
candles.
Yep. And what he does is he says that he's going to start a new business or whatever. And what's going to go at the very front that people see is this painting that she made. And then they start kissing and the credits roll.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yes. That was Holiday in Handcuffs. It was the wildest ride I've been on in a while.
Oh, Matthew, your movie is good. I mean, at being bad, that's what I mean. But
Yep.
but mine, like beforehand, I looked up a list of the top worst Christmas romance movies, and yours came in on one list at like number 9 or 10. So it's the best of the worst, but
Yeah.
but mine I picked came in at number 3 or 4, and I do think it is worsely made. The only high profile actor they could afford was I don't think I'm saying his name right, but Joey Fatone. Joey Fatone, the singer from NSYNC.
No.
That guy. He's in it.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that was the biggest name that I recognized. Although there are some like actresses maybe you'd recognize too. But my film was called the Christmas Wedding Planner. Yeah.
I know this movie. I've never seen it, but
Oh.
I know about how bad it is.
You should have watched it because it really, truly is magical. I'll be honest. I think I went through all 7 stages of grief in watching this film. Anger, disbelief, and then finally acceptance. So honestly, dude, I love this film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time now. And so we'll talk about it together. I'll share the synopsis with you because
Please do.
the synopsis makes no sense, all right? but it is intriguing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It the synopsis, I'm not going to say it word for word, but in brief, it talks about there's this girl named Kelsey. She's a
Mm-hmm.
wedding planner. She's planning the wedding for her cousin Emily,
Mm-hmm.
but a private eye shows up. A detective, Connor, shows up and threatens to ruin everything.
What? What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, to give you an idea, okay, while watching this movie, the first thing that may stand out to you is the
Mm-hmm.
music. The music is amazing. It's like somebody, this was made a couple years ago, so I doubt they did this, but it's like somebody fed through an AI what would somebody who's never heard Christmas music before, what kind of Christmas music would they make? And that's
Mm-hmm.
the kind of music you get. You either get Christmassy piano, that's
Mm-hmm.
generic. You get the unspiciest tango type of music imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Or, my personal favorite, you get baseball game organ player music.
All right.
Like, it's the best. They play
What?
these organ sound effects all the time, mostly to punctuate jokes or awkward moments, and they never fail to amuse me.
Oh my gosh.
But but what I'll do is I'll talk about some of my favorite scenes. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
um, I don't want to spoil everything in this movie because it's filled with a bajillion twists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's twists with everything, and our heroine Kelsey is constantly falling and into these twists, and she gets messed up all the time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so our opening scene is the meet cute. All right.
Of
That's
course.
when that's when the couple meets each other. This is supposed to be that, oh, here's the spark, okay? And so they start this thing. They only do it 3 times in the whole film. But when they introduce a character, they freeze the frame and
Mm-hmm.
show the character in frame. So the first shot you get is the voiceover of Kelsey, and then this blonde woman just ordering coffee in a coffee shop. She flips her hair and she's smiling, dazzling. And then Kelsey goes, "That's not me, though." And Kelsey bumps into her
Oh my
and
gosh.
spills the girl's coffee. And and then the freeze frame, we only see 2 more times with her cousin Emily, who's getting married, and then her aunt Olivia, Emily's mom. It'll freeze
Mm-hmm.
frame on them, and it only freeze frames on blonde women who
What?
all look the same. Yeah, only on blonde women. Just the random coffee shop lady we never see again, and then Emily and Aunt Olivia.
Golly.
So, so yeah. So anyway, um, she starts. Kelsey's like, "I'm so sorry," and the random girl, leaves, and Kelsey starts texting on her phone, and she always ends her texts with "Love muchly." You don't know who she's texting,
Mm-hmm.
um, but she's just talking about how she's having to plan her cousin's wedding and how she's stressed about it. And
Mm-hmm.
she goes to get in line, and she bumps into this guy. It's Connor. Well, we don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a guy. And he goes, "Oh, it's okay. You can go ahead and go." And Kelsey makes the mistake of saying, "No, you go ahead." And he does. And he proceeds to order 12 coffees and a blueberry scone. So she's just like,
Okay,
"Ah,
the scone
please."
saves it.
Yeah, yeah, the blueberry scone say, nah, you'll see. And so he orders all this, and he goes on his way, and we have the best barista ever. He's a barista bro, um,
Mm-hmm.
just just amazing. It's worth it just to watch that guy. But she gets up and she's like, "All I want is a blueberry scone," and the guy goes, "I'm sorry, I just sold my last blueberry scone to that guy with the 12 coffees." And she's just like, "Oh no." And so this starts one of my favorite catchphrases in the film is whenever Kelsey wants to get her way or confront someone, she gathers herself up and she says in her head, "I am a fierce warrior." And then she marches forth to confront whatever person she's confronting.
Gosh.
So she confronts the guy and is like, "I need that blueberry scone." And he's like, "No, I can't give it to you." And she's like, "I'll pay you $7. That's all I have." And he's like, "No, still not giving it to you." And then he leaves. Matthew, I don't know about you, but did you feel the sparks flying in this scene? Just from what I told.
No.
Like, I could just feel the affection, the lust for each other that these two actors.
I'm sorry. Never ever say that word with that tone of voice ever again.
I'm sorry. It's just they just it's so awkward the way they talk to one another. And so Kelsey goes to where she's going. She's late for a wedding shower that she herself is throwing at her Aunt Olivia's house. And we get introduced to my favorite character, Aunt Olivia. Okay. So I want to take a break and I'm going to tell you some of my favorite Aunt Olivia lines. She's upper middle class, ultra rich, white mom. So that should tell you all you need to hear. Okay. So here's some of her best lines. All right. When Kelsey's trying to explain why she's late, Aunt Olivia goes, "Look, nobody enjoys the tales of your many mishaps like I do, but it's time to greet our guests, Kelsey." And then when Kelsey's like, I hope I don't disappoint you today at the party," Aunt Olivia goes, "Oh, you never do, except for that blueberry scone you were supposed to give me." And she's like, "Oh no, she brought up the scone."
Oh my
So
gosh.
that was the twist. The blueberry scone was for Aunt Olivia. But then we figure out.
Wait. That was a twist?
Yeah, that's one of the twists.
That sucks.
Yeah, we didn't know who the blueberry scone was for.
Wait, no, I thought you said, what's his face? Connor ordered it.
He did, but Kelsey needed it for her aunt. That was the twist. It's not even for her.
Oh my gosh.
But
That's
there's a double
okay.
twist. Matthew, there's a double twist. She still got the blueberry scone because Connor, the private eye, was at the party. He had brought all the coffees and the blueberry scone for Aunt Olivia.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, so that's one of the myriad twists in this movie, and of course, this is when Kelsey.
That's not no. That's not a twist. That's just great. It happened.
No. You don't, Matthew. If you don't embrace the fact that there are a million twists in this film, you won't truly enjoy this film.
No, you don't understand what a twist in a movie is. That's not a twist.
No.
It's just happenstance.
No, I refuse to believe that the writer's intention was anything else but here's a twist.
They're sitting in the boardroom where they're trying to pitch ideas, and they recorded the audio for it and made a transcript out of it just to make sure they kept all the ideas. And if you do a Control or Command F to figure out here's the twist, it pops up 100 times.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Okay, it's like okay, what if Kelsey really needs that blueberry scone? All right, and then the writer goes, "Yeah, but what if the twist is the scone's not even for her? It's for her aunt to impress her aunt." Okay, and then they're like, "What if there's another twist? She doesn't get the scone, but Connor does, and he's the one who gives it to the aunt." that's literally how I think the majority of the interactions in this movie go. You
It's
know,
just not a twist, though.
it's you don't understand, Matthew.
You're
You
right.
didn't
I guess.
suffer.
I guess I don't
Look,
understand.
you didn't watch this movie 2.5 times like I did, so over the course of over a day, Matthew.
Fair, fair. All right, please continue.
Okay, so the aunt warns Kelsey that the biggest threat to the wedding, her wedding planning career, because
Mm-hmm.
this is the first wedding that Kelsey's planning. The biggest
Mm-hmm.
threat to her wedding planning career is Connor.
ISIS.
No, Connor,
Oh my gosh.
the private eye. And the reason is because he is the bride's ex from 10 years ago.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. What a twist, eh? All right.
Yeah. A
And so
twist.
so that so Kelsey does her I am a fierce warrior thing, and she goes to confront.
She an independent woman?
No, but she's a fierce warrior, dude. You don't get
Okay,
it.
cool. You're
And
right.
so
You're right.
she goes over to confront Connor, and
Mm-hmm.
he's in the middle of talking to a dude, and he puts his finger up and go and in her face before she can say a word, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I will politely tell him to leave in a moment. I will be a polite fierce warrior, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Matthew, I need your help, because he he shares the punchline of a joke,
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps you can help me figure out what the setup might have been,
Mm-hmm.
because the only part of what we hear while Kelsey's standing there waiting is he goes, before I knew it, I lost my pants. And then he starts dying laughing. Matthew, what do you think? What could be the setup for such a hilarious joke? Like, before I knew it, I lost my
Um,
pants.
have no idea. Maybe it was a Frasier thing where he was trying to iron his pants and cook dinner, and he burnt his dinner and his pants, and that was how he lost his pants.
Maybe. We never know.
It's just the punchline of a joke with no
It's just the
explanation.
punchline. No explanation. Before I knew it, I lost my pants. And then he starts laughing hysterically as he hits the guy in the chest, and the guy walks away.
Wow, that's rude. He just hit that guy. That's an assault
like a little
charge.
tap, yeah. But this is when Kelsey confronts him and is like,
Is he
"You need
wearing
to
pants
leave?"
right now?
Yes, he is. Thank goodness.
Can you say that with confidence, though?
Don't make me watch it for another half of a time to get to this scene.
Does it show Connor's pants? This is a question that has to be answered.
Before I knew it, he still had his pants.
He had no pants. It was a Zoom
no
call.
pants.
The entire movie was shot from the chest up,
Oh,
so no one
I
was
wish.
wearing pants the entire time.
The perfect film. But anyway, he reveals that the reason he's there is because he's a private detective now, and he was hired to investigate the groom, Todd, because something's off about that guy. All right. So the classic pairing of Emily and Todd, and Connor is going to investigate Todd. He doesn't want to ruin the wedding on purpose, but he tells Kelsey, I can't guarantee it won't be ruined after what I find. He's like,
Yeah.
which mortifies Kelsey, because she needs this wedding to go perfect, you know? And and he's like,
Reputation
look,
and all that jazz.
he's like, look, you need to be my partner. We should be partners. And she's like, no, I would never. I believe Todd's a great guy, and you're just being a jerk. And he's like, whatever. He's like, we can still be partners. And but she refuses. She believes. And so this leads me to my favorite scene in the whole movie. Okay. The dress fitting scene. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It introduces some of the best characters. Uh,
No.
it has some of the best moments. It's revealed that Emily's dress that she's
Hmm.
getting costs more than a home. It costs more than a
What?
house. Yeah, according to Kelsey, Emily's dress costs more than a house.
That sounds like a really
And
bad
then,
investment.
yeah, and so Emily enters the shop, and she's like, Kelsey, here's the squad, and they do this fun thing where Kelsey goes, bridesmaids. We have all the types of bridesmaids at this wedding. So then
Hmm.
she reveals their tropes, okay, the characters they play. The first bridesmaid is the jealous bridesmaid.
Oh,
So
great.
so every line out of her mouth, she's this Indian woman, every line out of her mouth is, wow, I love your dress. I wanted this same exact one for my wedding. Or, Kelsey, you have to plan my wedding. It's not happening yet, but I want you to plan it.
Uh-huh.
Just that's her whole character. And then
Great.
we get the bitter bridesmaid. She's she's divorced. She wants to go to Fiji with the bride alone. She's bitter. She hates weddings, but she's a
Hmm.
bridesmaid.
Hmm.
Um, she has one of my favorite interactions with the jealous bridesmaid because she's sitting down and she goes, "Well, like the saying goes, you know, give a man your heart, and he'll make out with your sister in a closet at a family reunion." And then the jealous bridesmaid says, "Is that Nietzsche who said that?"
Oh, sorry. That was a joke. Sorry. Sorry. I forgot to laugh for a moment here. Ah, is that good?
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good joke. I don't understand
No.
why you didn't laugh.
No, it's look, dude, listeners at home, you probably understand this more than anybody. Um, when it comes to my philosophy of joke telling, you throw a whole lot of jokes out there, and eventually some of them will land. And so
Oh,
I know a bit about bad
yeah.
jokes. Nathan, this joke, you can't even
Is
categorize it as a joke.
is it bad? Like I'm just gonna say it. That's the best written joke in the movie.
No, it is not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
No,
That's the best one. I've
no.
watched it. Trust me, I've watched it 2.5 times. I'll watch it again, and every time that scene happens, I'm gonna laugh hysterically because it's the best joke in the movie,
Oh
and
my
the writer
gosh.
deserves one good laugh. Uh, I mean, me personally, I think that's the best. It's just
So stupid.
see because it's funny, Matthew, because she says, as the saying goes, and then the other one thinks it's Nietzsche who talked
Yeah,
about
the French
giving
nihilistic philosopher who's talking about
like
making out with your sister or whatever.
right like you give your heart to a man and then he makes out with your sister
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
closet at a
yeah.
family
Yeah,
reunion.
Friedrich Nietzsche totally said that.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler was like, yeah, we need these views. What is this one? Nietzsche, what? He's.
Gosh.
So yeah. Oh, and then we have the final bridesmaid. Okay, so we have the jealous one,
Oh
we
god,
have the
there's only
bitter
three.
one. Yeah, there's only three. She doesn't have a lot of friends. Um,
Understandably.
what do you think would be the last trope of a bridesmaid
Oh
you'd have?
gosh. Um
What would you come up with?
overly excited?
Close. The clumsy bridesmaid.
Oh no.
she's like she's like dropping cookies everywhere. She
Oh,
she has like cupcake frosting on her hands.
that's how he
Classic.
lost his pants.
The clumsy bridesmaid stole him. Um,
Yeah.
he should solve that case.
See,
That
that
should be
was a
a
much
case.
better joke than was that Nietzsche?
Oh, geez. Okay, so we're still at the thing, okay,
Hmm.
and so Kelsey goes into this long diatribe about how Emily is buying her own dress. she does not is getting her own dress. She doesn't want to use the dress that's been passed down for generations.
Oh
And
no.
and Kelsey makes the claim that all brides hate hand-me-down dresses like that. All brides, Matthew.
All brides.
Oh my gosh. No. Some are actually sentimental and like that sort of thing. But according to Kelsey, all brides
No, no,
hate.
no. That's not called being sentimental. That's called being poor.
Well, no, not. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe they're just so
Exactly.
rich. They're like, this is a poor people thing.
I mean,
Um,
the wedding dress itself costs more than a house. So they would be the type of people to laugh and snarl at poor people.
right. Now, okay, so Matthew, um, Emily wants Kelsey to tell her mom, Aunt Olivia, she's like, you got to tell her I'm not wearing the family dress. But she
Hmm.
says it like this. She's like, how do I sugarcoat you to not hurt her feelings? And Kelsey's like, I'll find a way. And so she texts Aunt Olivia, and then Aunt Olivia just responds back in text, that was so sugarcoated, I have diabetes now.
Ha 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 ha. Funny joke.
It's not as funny as the Nietzsche joke, I think. It's close. It's so close. But
You're right. It's not as funny as the Nietzsche joke because it's not any better joke than the Nietzsche joke.
okay. And so we get to the moment. This is the best moment of a bride's life, right? Is when she gets her dress and she comes out, okay? And so
Hmm.
Emily the bride comes out. She's smiling, she's glowing, dude, you know?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
she looks at all her bridesmaids and bro, I'm not joking when I say there is complete silence. Complete silence for a solid 10 seconds.
Ooh,
I have
no,
seen,
no, no.
yeah, I have seen episodes of Say Yes to the Dress, and usually when a bride comes out, everyone's gushing, oh, you look so beautiful, blah blah blah, you know,
Hmm.
nothing. And then they all get up and gather around her and they're like, it's a lovely dress. And they're being serious. Like,
Hmm.
like it was like they were stunned to silence. But
Hmm.
that's what this movie does. It just has awkward silences everywhere. Everywhere.
Mm.
So anyway, this is where we finally get a little bit of drama. We get a bit of iffiness about Todd because
Mm.
Todd shows up to the shop and he's like, I have some gifts for you bridesmaids. And so the bride dashes off. She doesn't want Todd to see her in the
Hmm.
dress. And
Hmm.
so he gives these bracelets to Kelsey. And there's a sliding door that separates the front of the shop to the dressing room. When he closes the door, there's a crack in it. And we get this exchange where Kelsey gets a phone call from the caterer and she's kind of looking out the door while talking to the caterer and the caterer is sharing bad news. You know, he's going through a divorce. He can't cater the wedding anymore. He's too depressed, blah blah blah. But while this is happening, she's watching Todd and he is flirting with the shop owner. And he's like pointing out mistletoe above him. He's like whispering in her ear, you know. It's like real bad. It's obvious he's cheating. And she even says that. She's like, no, you can't do that. That's cheating. And the caterer on the phone is like, what? And she's like, I mean, you said you would cater. You're cheating us, you know. And
Hmm.
and so Todd leaves, and you know, instead of confronting the woman, she she noticed that Todd wrote something in the woman's book, and
Hmm.
so she wants to look at what's written in the notebook. And so we get one of the best lines in the movie. To distract the lady, Kelsey goes, "Is that a Degas painting?" She's pointing at some painting. There's a trivia section for this movie on IMDb,
Hmm.
and somebody wrote down as one of the trivia facts that the painting she points at is not a Degas at all or anything similar to Degas.
Oh my gosh.
You know? So through this, Kelsey, I'm not gonna. there's just so many other scenes. There are just so many other characters. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many plans that Kelsey has to get this lady's notebook. Ultimately, she finds out that he wrote down, "Let's have dinner Wednesday night, you and me," something like that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
obvious he's cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's just a bunch of other things that go on, but she finally agrees to team up with Connor, and I'll just share this one because it kind of shows us that Kelsey's like really just she's just constantly getting she just constantly misunderstands things,
Mm-hmm.
um like she meets Connor at this restaurant that's owned by the NSYNC singer Joey Fatone, and
Joey Fat One.
Joey Fat One. Of course, let's make him the chef of a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes there to meet him, and they have this weird moment where Connor's like, "Let me order for you. I love this restaurant. I can tell you what to get." And she's like, "No, let me order for you." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay." And so she orders lobster. And Joey Fat One is incredulous. He's like, "You really want the lobster, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And he's like, "Are you sure you want the lobster?" Like it's uncomfortably intense how much he asks this guy if he wants the lobster. And so he's like, "Yeah, give me the lobster." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So their meal comes out. She gets this beautiful pasta dish, and she's enjoying it. And she's agreed to help him out,
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and she just realized, hey, my caterer is out. I'll just ask Joey Fat One to be my caterer. And she's like, "Hey, can you be my caterer?" And he goes, "Yeah, let me ask my business partner." And he
Mm-hmm.
turns to Connor and he goes, "Connor, can we cater the wedding?" And Connor's
Oh
like,
my
"Yeah." He was
gosh.
the business partner all along, Matthew. Another twist. And she's embarrassed enough, right? Okay. But here comes the second one. This is a great moment. She's like, "Hey Connor, why aren't you eating your lobster?"
Mm-hmm.
And Connor's just like, "Oh, I don't want to eat it." And she's like, "Why don't you want to eat your lobster?" And he's like, "Cause I have an allergy to shellfish. And if I eat it, I'll die." Do you know what Kelsey's reaction to this information is?
She force feeds him.
She just starts laughing hysterically. She thinks it's the
No.
funniest thing. She thinks it's the funniest thing she's ever heard in her life.
Did no 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 no.
Huh.
Did she laugh at the Nietzsche joke?
She wasn't paying attention.
She has such twisted humor.
Yeah. She eventually just looks at him and she's just like, "Seriously?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll die." And she just starts laughing again. And she's like, "Let's switch meals." So she eats his lobster and he finishes off her Italian dish.
What?
Yeah.
No.
He's like,
No.
let's switch meals.
So
Yeah.
stupid. Please tell me this isn't Chekhov's lobster dish.
No, it's not coming back. Now, I don't know about
No.
you. Hey,
What's the
Matthew,
point?
they ate it
What's
like they did eat it in the scene. It just was the end of the scene, Matthew. I don't know how you ended the scene, but that's how you
like
end a dinner scene.
no. He
You
just
bled to
says
death.
I'm allergic to lobster, and that doesn't come back to play at all during the rest of the film.
No, not at all.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, you see like a good movie like Hitch, for example, with Will
Mm-hmm.
Smith,
Yep.
that matchmaker. I mean, his shellfish allergy was funny because, well, I say funny, because he actually did eat some shellfish and his face ballooned up, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and when he got his help. And so it was funny, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, maybe I'm coming around. Maybe this movie wasn't funny after all. Um, so
Oh, you don't
anyway, uh,
say.
eventually, like I'm skipping over a lot here, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually they come up with a plan. If Kelsey agrees to tail Todd with Connor, uh, and whatever information they find out, good or bad, Connor will
Mm-hmm.
leave her life forever. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll leave her alone. All right, and so they agree to tail Todd for 3 days. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we cue this montage. You know how the lovers have to have a montage where they do stuff together. Okay, this this montage is of them hanging out in a delivery truck, trying to look inconspicuous while
Mm-hmm.
watching Todd. And
Mm-hmm.
and have you ever just like played a video game and there's non-playable characters that just wander around a town back and forth?
Yes.
That's just Todd. That's just what Todd does. He gives money to some charity, and then he carries a present for a lady, and then he just walks, and that's all Todd does.
Gosh, what a loser.
But over the course of these 3 days, man, I mean, you just really feel the sparks flying between our two leads. Like,
Of course.
it's just beautiful. Um, and then Wednesday night happens where that dinner with the wedding dress shop lady occurs, and
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, she shows up, dude. But this
Mm.
is this is after the fact um, that they're trying to sit in a booth away from Todd because they're spying on him,
Mm-hmm.
and the waiter thinks they're on a date, and
Mm.
they're like, no, we're not on a date. We just work together. And the
Mm-hmm.
and the waiter goes, "Oh, I understand." And they're like, "No, we don't think you do." And he goes, "No, no, no. I get it. Office romance, forbidden love. We have that here too." And then he like nods back and then he nods back at the bartender, a male bartender, dude. So so you were talking about the son in your movie coming out. That
Uh,
these guys are like, we have forbidden love as well. you know.
oh no. Like I this is just wackadoodle dandy
Also,
right here.
hey, also that's a lie because everybody knows waiters and waitresses. Like you work in a kitchen, a restaurant like that, they're all with each other. You know, like that's just common knowledge for the
No,
for the
no.
most part.
The exact
Yes.
opposite, my man.
No.
I have never worked in a kitchen where people were dating because almost every
What?
restaurant I was in, everybody talked about how much they hated their job and no one they went out for like drinks and stuff after work sometimes, but like
Uh huh.
I
Yeah, that's it.
never heard of office romances while I worked in kitchens,
You've
bro.
Okay. You and I have had wildly different experiences, and I've been on the mild side of it. But
I was about to say you
like
worked
you
at
go,
Chick-fil-A.
I know. But if you go on groups, like online groups or whatever,
Mhm.
about from servers, a lot of them talk about that sort of thing. You know?
I've never experienced
Oh
that.
my Oh my gosh, dude. Anyway, uh why am I defending this waiter and his forbidden
This gay
romance?
waiter.
Uh, I don't even
Ugh,
know if he's gay. He could just be talking to his homie, like, "Yeah, we've tried dating some of the chicks here." We don't know. One of the great mysteries of the film,
he's a
unanswered.
gator.
But dude, he proceeds to make their dinner more and more romantic by like bringing out candles and
Oh my
wine.
gosh.
They have the most conspicuous table in the restaurant. Uh, we also learn nothing says romance like hearing about a dead parent.
Yes! Let's go!
Yeah.
Dead parents at Christmas.
So I revealed a common thing that Kelsey does is she just texts somebody
Mm-hmm.
and tells them about her day and says, "Love you muchly,"
Mm-hmm.
And Connor is reading her text at the dinner table and he's like, "Love you muchly? Is that a boyfriend?" And she's like, "No, it's my dead mom."
Woo! Dead
She goes,
parents.
she died a few years ago, and I still pay her phone bill just so I can text this number
Oh,
and
that is
pretend
the
that she
biggest
sees it.
waste of cash I've. Oh my god. Dave Ramsey would leave the nightclub in Phoenix, Arizona, fly over here, and
Uh-huh.
smack her in the face.
Definitely. Heck yeah, he would.
Oh
Um,
man.
but anyway, so finally, after getting this cool revelation, um, the wedding shop owner shows up, and
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey, again a fierce warrior, she
Mm-hmm.
gets up and she confronts Todd. "I can't believe you're cheating on my cousin, the bride.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you? You're a scumbag." And then we find this out. Todd isn't cheating, Matthew.
No.
He's not. Okay, it was a misunderstanding.
Okay.
The shopkeep owner
Mm-hmm.
is actually married herself to the owner of the restaurant they're at,
Mm-hmm.
and Todd bought the dresses from Michelle. Her name's
Mm-hmm.
Michelle. He bought the dresses from Michelle at a discount, and as in his thanks, he was like, "Let me take you to dinner,"
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
because that doesn't still seem like cheating or okay, maybe
I mean, I
maybe
don't have much experience in relationships, so I'm
right.
not one to say if that's cheating or not.
I mean, not that it's
But
cheating per se. It's just kind of weird, you
if he
know.
said it's not cheating, then I guess we have to believe him, right?
But but he also adds that her husband told us to go to dinner together.
No,
So
what?
yeah,
Okay,
it's just
that
an odd. Yeah, it's a really weird
here you don't.
situation.
It's a misunderstanding. Let me help you misunderstand this even more.
Let me explain by making it a million times more convoluted.
Ah, yes.
This is the opposite of Occam's razor. The simplest solution is not
This is
what
Occam's
it is.
hairbrush.
This is this is Occam's weed whacker, you know. So again, we're gonna fast forward a bunch. There's just a lot. There's just so much. We learn new stuff about Connor. He's a scumbag. The reason
Yes.
he left Emily was because her dad paid him off to leave her, and he actually took the money.
What?
But we learn other stuff that actually he thought it was a loan, and he used it to buy Joey Fat One's restaurant so that his partner could still have the restaurant. Like there's just so many twists revealed in the last 20 minutes, you
That's
know?
not a twist. That's just story progression, Nathan.
No. It's a twist because
It's
I
not
didn't
a
expect it.
twist. Oh, this entire movie's unexpected for how you think it's going to be
Okay,
something, and then it's
Matthew,
just the worst thing
Matthew,
ever.
Matthew, if it's not a twist, then how do you explain the fact that it's just not mentioned in normal conversation to be easily cleared up and saved for the end like it's a twist?
Because it's poor writing.
All right, fine. We're skipping to the wedding.
Thank you. Jeez.
Okay. So, you thought Todd was a good guy, right?
No.
Because it was all cleared up. All right.
Uh
Well, guess what? He's
huh.
not a good guy at all. I
No.
know this shocks you. Okay. Um, Connor shows up to the wedding.
Yeah. Is he
Now,
wearing pants? Is
Kelsey,
he wearing pants?
yeah. Oh, thank goodness
Oh,
they're
dang
there.
it. Anyways,
But the thing
I
is,
mean, good.
they
I mean, good. I mean, good.
the officiant says, um, if anyone has anything to say against this wedding, speak now or forever hold your peace. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a great time to storm in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a normal movie would do that. No,
Mm-hmm.
we have awkward silence, and then the officiant starts with, "Okay, do you show and show take?" And then Connor bursts through the door and goes, "Don't marry
No.
Todd." Yeah, it's so great.
No.
And he's like, that guy's not good for you. He literally says that to Emily. And Emily's
It's
like, what do you mean? And Todd tells his groomsmen, who look like 15-year-old boys, he goes, take him away. And so they're pulling Connor, a grown man, away. And Connor's like, if you don't listen to me, listen to her. And this woman walks through the door. A woman we saw briefly because she went to the restaurant earlier to talk to Connor. And she shows up, and she's visibly pregnant, Matthew. Uh-huh.
Oh no.
And so I didn't even tell you about this earlier, but Connor reveals that she used to be the maid for Todd's parents. And initially...
Wait.
Todd's parents were really rich.
Yes. How old was Todd when they first met?
Todd's like in his 20s or so. 20s or 30s.
So when was the maid hired?
I don't know. know.
Oh no.
She is literally just introduced in the final 10 minutes of the film.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah. And so we find out.
You can't. Oh my gosh, dude. It's that thing of there's no way you can possibly write something this bad intentionally.
Okay. But it gets worse.
Oh my god. How can
I'm not done.
Worse?
And so
does freaking Cthulhu show up?
No, not quite. No, it gets worse. Trust me. And so he reveals that Todd's parents initially supported the maid while she's pregnant. They were like, that's okay. We'll still keep you on. We'll still pay you. But then they heard the awful news that it was Todd's baby. And so they fired her.
Wow, that's like the worst possible thing you can do.
Uh-huh. And Emily is standing on the altar, and she's just like, Todd, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. There's no tears on her face, nothing. And he's just like, I can't believe she's here, you know? And so Emily runs away, and it looks like she's kind of crying. She's not. There's no tears. There's nothing. She's kind of scary at this point, honestly. Like, I think she's dissociated for the final 10 minutes of the film. And I'll give you more reasons why, okay?
Okay.
So she storms out of the church, and Todd storms down the aisle to punch Connor, and Aunt Olivia sticks her foot out and trips Todd. We finally got some action in the movie. So she redeemed herself.
Yeah, for that stupid scone that was supposed to be hers, but wasn't, but was.
Yeah. I mean, she still got her scone, just not from Kelsey. But anyway, Kelsey finally goes out of the church to follow her cousin Emily. And she goes, it's kind of sad looking. Emily is sitting on a bench beside the church in the snow. But there's no tears. There's no crying. And in a normal film, this would be when the girl goes, yeah, I knew he was cheating on me. There's none of that, dude. None. Oh, gosh. And Kelsey just tries to comfort her, you know, and then Connor comes out. And now this is Emily's day, right? Her wedding. It's supposed to be about her. But Emily realizes, I'm not the main character of this movie. And so Emily goes, I'll leave you two alone.
Oh my God.
She goes back inside the church. And this is when Connor tells Kelsey, I love you. I've always loved you. You know, even though we've only known each other a week. And so they start kissing.
Hey, better than 2 days.
Well, we'll see about that. And so Aunt Olivia and Emily come out. And Aunt Olivia's just like, I'm so sorry, Connor, for thinking you were a lying, scheming son of a gun, you know? And Connor's like, it's okay. And then Connor looks at Kelsey, and Kelsey goes, I should probably go inside and tell everyone the wedding's over. And then Connor goes, wait.
No! Don't
tell him anything.
No.
Tell him to stay.
No.
And And then he gets down on one knee.
No!
Kelsey looks at him and she's like, "What are you doing?
No.
We've only known each other for like 4 days." She says that literally, dude. And
Oh my
he's just like,
gosh.
"I love you." She's like,
No.
"We barely know each other." And he's like, "I want to spend the rest of my life making up for that, getting to know you." And
Shoot
she's
me in the face.
hesitating. And then Aunt Olivia takes off her own wedding ring from her dead husband.
Nice.
Yeah, Emily also has a dead parent. And so
Woo.
Aunt Olivia tosses her ring to Connor, and Connor's like, "Will you marry me?" And so we hear Emily's voiceover, and she goes, "There are times in life we need to be in control. We need not give in to silly romance.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be grown-ups." And then the next shot is her in the wedding dress marrying Connor.
No.
While Emily is also in her wedding dress, staring on as her maid of honor.
She's in her wedding dress too?
Yeah, so I guess Kelsey used the old hand-me-down dress that all brides hate, apparently. And so Emily's there, and she's just like, and Kelsey's voiceover is just like, "I'm just so happy that Emily's here and everyone's here, you know." And dude, no lie, the camera slow-mos on Emily's face, and bro, it's like her soul has left her body. Her eyes are dull, but she has this giant smile on. Like, imagine you find out your fiance has a baby mama and a baby on the way, and then your ex from 10 years ago is marrying your cousin right then.
Bro, that's villain arc stuff right there.
And then just to mess with her a bit more, Kelsey immediately, they finished kissing. Kelsey throws her bouquet up in the air. Guess who catches it?
Emily.
No. Bro, if that doesn't mess with you, I don't know what will.
Dude, that's some terrible, terrible stuff.
Like it's the most psychotic.
You would talk about trauma. Like, oh my gosh.
Like I never thought I'd see anything so traumatic in the final 5 minutes of a movie. This is all in the final few minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Where Emily is the most tortured soul in this movie. She was the kindest, she was the best of them all, and she's treated so poorly.
Dude. Oh, that's so bad.
It is. And then the final scene that plays during the credits is Connor and Kelsey going to the honeymoon suite, and he picks her up and they walk over the threshold together.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Last year we did this with the Princess or the Christmas Switch 2. I was not interested in watching this movie. I want to watch this movie as soon as I can.
I recommend it. I rented it because I don't have Netflix anymore. I rented it for $2. Best $2 I've spent in a long time.
Man.
Let me tell you.
Gosh.
Worth every penny.
Incredible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just like last year, we have recorded for far too long. So let's go ahead and cue the music.
Matthew, this was a good way to start off the Christmas season for us. You know, I really hope
less than a week before Christmas.
Oh, yeah, it's like 5 days away or whatever. Yep. But anyway, I really hope all of you are inspired to watch a bad Christmas movie this year. You know,
absolutely.
Everyone focuses on the good ones, and sometimes you just need to watch a film where you can go, at least my life isn't as bad as Emily's from Christmas Wedding Planner.
Very true, very true. And what you can do is you can tell us about these wonderful memories you have of watching bad Christmas movies with your friends and family by sending us an email at absurdargumentsforyou@gmail.com. I'm out of practice because I haven't done it in a while. That
Yeah,
is
it's been a while.
absurdarguments, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. You can also find us on social media at Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, all the good things. We've even got no, I'm just kidding. I'm not adding another social media on my phone.
No, don't do
But
it.
the Christmas season is here. The weather is colder for the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere, it's hot, but we're not there. Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
as we enter into the last few days of Advent before we get into the celebration of the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ on Christmas, do you have any last words to say?
Yeah, as a wise man once said, "Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please." It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Sir, I gotta buy these shoes because mama just might meet Jesus tonight.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.